almost. It's slowly been doing that for ooh 5 6 years. Um, they had got a new mall management company, I guess about a year or two ago, and that was supposed to improve everything. Um, I was going to lease a storefront over here for a really good deal, and with a 1 year lease, which I was kind of hesitant to sign, and the guy was a little bit short with me. But in like the past 5 years, so much stuff is emptied out of the mall, and there's not a lot left. Uh, Bed Bath and Beyond moves out this Saturday. Now this is March of 2023. Spencer's was already supposed to move. That's Planet Fitness. They apparently own their section. Um, and let's see, Spencer's was supposed to move out already. I think it was set for March 17th or something, but they're still there and packing stuff up. Doors are open, so I guess they're selling. They have t-shirts in there for like $1. Um, but and the mall's hours, changed grossly through the years. It's like I think 7 o'clock on the weekdays, closing at night, and then like 6 on Sunday. They even have an Amazon pickup thing there, so I'm sure that will be gone soon too. J.C. Penney's closed a couple years ago, around the beginning of the pandemic time, somewhere in there, shortly thereafter. They were the first to go, um, pretty much, amongst other stores, other retailers, and this was all J.C. Penney over here. Now, I don't know if they had bought their section or not, because they had sold off parts of this mall. And then this is more of the J.C. Penney on this side. The loading docks, more loading docks, and um, the covered entry there. And then you got all this over here. Now, when you go here, from here all the way to the left, was all Dillard's. Boy, they come fast and picked up their signs. All the marquees they had on the wall. They even patched the wall up. Wow. They slid bricks in there. And then way over here to the left, on one side of the mall, more towards the Dollar Tree sign, is the Surge Trampoline Park, which looks like an old Toys R Us or something. I can't remember what was there years ago. My daughter's daddy worked over at the original Sears over here at this mall, some time ago. And this is Regal Cinemas. I don't know what's going to happen there. They may own their property. I don't know if that's part of the mall or not. But I do know that Dillard's owned their section. And the mall wanted to buy it back in a big time hurry. And then that straight ahead was a church for a while. I think they let them rent it free. That motorcycle's always there. I think that's a security guy, or somebody that works in the mall. And then they made that the haunted house, the Christmas house. These are the new apartment complexes they built like during the pandemic that originally started renting at, I think it was 1,030 a month for the smallest one. Has a gym and all kinds of stuff. and pool. And it's supposed to be gated, but I never see the security gate up. This is where they cut part of the mall off to build the apartment buildings. Uh, Apparently, the guy that owns the mall for a million years owns those apartment buildings. Okay. Now, and they have a website for the apartment buildings. They were letting people rent them before they were even constructed. Okay, so then I should have come through the other side of the truck. They're leasing spots for trailers and stuff over here. The guy that's in charge of the mall. And so this is food court side with the Amazon pickup big yellow locker boxes and where the carousel goes. That's an employee entrance and trash compactor right there. People have been steadily moving out. And then this was purchased, all the old Sears complex was purchased by a storage company. I rented there when they first opened it. And they were very, very expensive when they first opened. But nice complex. But that was purchased. I think that was one of the first sales. And those dealers bought first, but they bought all that out, and I found that interesting. That how could they sell part of the mall? Because it's wall to wall to the mall. It seemed kind of strange to buy something like that. It's kind of like buying a townhouse. But all this side is all Sears and the Sears Auto. People used to talk about how the air conditioning was so good over at the Sears. They used to just like hang out at the Sears. And then you've got a Regions. You've got what is the name of this joint over here? It's not Atlanta bread. What is this thing? Panera or something? What is that? I can't remember. I've never eaten there, so no. Yeah, that's Panera bread right there. So you've got okay, there's Regions. Right there. There's Panera bread. Starbucks. And then this other place over here is a slushy joint that I've gone to one time and didn't care for it, and it's terrible overpriced. It's just like the Smoothie King. Smoothie King there. And the next one is the green thing is a bank. And so the game plan that I was told through the grapevine, now the people I was going to lease from told me, I said, what's up with the mall? Because, I hate to put, a retail store up there, just to open an office there. And never open the doors and to the public because I'm not going to retail. And they told me if I leased, I had to, come on, lady, figure out what you're going to do. They told me I had to keep the doors open. And you know, you have everybody in the world come in there and go, where's the bathroom? What's happened to the mall? Where's all the stores? Is this abandoned? Um, and I'm not, you know, the information desk. You know, so I was leery of it because he wanted me to sign a 1 year lease, but it's not even lasting a year because I don't think it will be here an entire year portion of it anyway. There used to be gas stations on this left corner. Um, Across the street's a Dollar Tree. There's an Eglin Bank here, and there's some other little bank, First Bank over there. So, and I don't know if JCPenney owned their section or not, but the game plan is supposed to be. And I was really excited when I first heard they were talking about building apartments in the parking lot of the mall. Was it would be great, this before the pandemic, that it would be great to help employees so that, like, they could walk to work, didn't have to have a car. You know, it'd be fairly reasonable. There'd be more housing in the area, which we really needed, especially now because since the pandemic hit, everybody in the world has moved from the United States here. Everybody head to Florida. So what the plan supposedly is going to be is they're going to I don't know how true this is or not, because the guy that I was supposed to lease from was telling me they were renovating the mall because all the restaurants started going out in the food court and they stopped running the carousel, and I was real concerned about that. I was also going to bring one of the trains back here a few years back before the pandemic, so I could revive it. You know, then kids would have something to do when they came. So the game plan is supposed to be and the guy was telling me, oh, we're gonna, you know, we're not doing anything, we're just renovating the food court and gonna bring big box in and all that stuff. And big box stores is like Walmart or something, okay? No, that's never happened so far. But see this section? This back end of JCPenney? This is what I heard through the grapevine, through some folks, but I don't know how true it is, that the mall is going to be cut right through there and this side demolished. So that these people don't know what stop sign means. Shocking. So that all this will be condemned so that they can build more of this. Now, the Regal Cinemas is just being plowed down now over by the Publix grocery store right down the street. Just a few miles down the street. They're plowing that to the ground. Don't know if it's the same owners or if they're independent owner. So I don't know. This one got hurt bad during the pandemic. They ended up shutting it down for a long time and then reopened it. This didn't have a lot of people. Now they're starting to get a little business back in. I don't know that the business they're getting is enough to pay people to work there and to even run the theater. I imagine most of it nowadays is all computerized. They used to have guys up in the film room running the film. When I was a little kid, you know, sometimes the film would break and they'd have to take an intermission. And people would smoke in the theater and pour their drinks down the aisles, and you would run down over your shoes and clothes and all that fun stuff. It used to be kind of wild. They serve beer in this wine theater in California. When my daughter and I went back home to see my daddy, they served beer and stuff in there, she told me. It's wild. So all of this back end is going to be condemned from what I'm told. Now, the storage company also owns their parking lot. Which I didn't know that till like recently. Or they recently bought it. And then I'd heard that the storage company was trying to buy this other section of Sears. Right here, this garage store here, which was probably the loading dock for appliances. You know, when they're going to deliver it to your house, I think. I, I can't remember. George could tell you better because he worked here at one point. My daughter's daddy. But so this they're supposed to be trying to buy that right there, and then do interior storage for RVs and boats. And no, you can't live in them or boondocking them. They don't do any boondocking stuff. They they have lots and lots of video. So I don't know if that deal's gone through or not. And then the next game plan that I was told is that they're going to take, and I don't know if it's true. So, about 3/4 of the mall will be demolished. And I think it's going to be really soon. Okay, all this parking lot here, I was told they're going to put some retail stores in here through this parking lot. Back in the day, you couldn't even park in this place. It was so busy. You were lucky to find a parking space on the back 40. It was the most fun place to go, really and truly. But it was really, really a neat place. Been here forever and ever. I don't think they've ever resurfaced the parking lot since they built it. So it's got some low spots and high spots in it, and lots of cracks. Parts of it floods out when it rains a little bit. So that's all I know. There's supposed to be like a series of big box stuff here, and then they're just going to have that front strip. So, yeah. And I haven't talked to anybody that claims they're going to stay because they kept moving people around. That was part of the lease. I talked to a couple tenants, and they said, well, I said, no, sure looks like it's going to close. And I said, how did your lease go? And they're like, well, if they want to move us, they have the option to move us. And I'm like, gee whiz, God, what if they do that every month? But it's because they were trying to move people around, so they keep collecting rent till they got down to the nitty gritty because they knew what they're planning for. And a lot of times you can access all these city plans on the internet. Like you can see the ones for Harbor Walk Village where, they had that parking structure approved that they never built, stuff like that. And they were going to tear Coyote Ugly down and put a big parking structure there so they have enough parking. But I think that whole sector over there has enough weight on it. It's sinking by the day to begin with. And it looks like that apartment complex that just collapsed down in lower Florida. It's just, like the water comes in the parking structure, just flows down the walls and stuff like that, Harbor Walk. And it's pretty rough. I just don't think it's going to last too much longer. The hotel's just entirely too much weight. I think that's for starters. But yeah. So, Florida was swampland to begin with. That used to be the biggest joke in California. You want to buy some swampland in Florida? Yeah, when I was growing up, that was the thing. Although my big dream was to go to Disneyland in Florida. Still haven't gone yet. But anyway, so that's the game plan, supposedly. Don't know if it's true or not, but people are moving rapidly. Like I say, there's a bunch that have already moved in. I think Spirit Halloween just really pissed them off pretty bad. And they probably got locked out. Because they had another manager there that was just absolutely horrible and got in beef with the people in charge of the mall and stuff. And I was like, be careful with them, because they can lock you out in a heartbeat. You don't want to make them mad, giving them orders and getting sassy with them. Um, and they did, including a guy that's way over them, but that's like friends with the owner or something, or works directly with the owner. Went up and pissed him completely off of the trash cans and didn't even realize who he was. I'm like, man. So I imagine they'd probably be locked out. They didn't get the stuff out in time. And they probably won't let them have it. So, anyway, hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see what happens with the future of Santa Rosa Mall, which I think is just going to be a little strip mall now. All right, talk to you later. Have a great one. Do some kind for a stranger, and I promise I'll see you in the next one.